Among the various schemes for the delivery of nuclear weapons, the Navy's Fleet Ballistic Missile System is unique. Unique because it alone operates from a mobile base, an underwater ship. Air bases and missile sites are fixed targets, but the FBM submarine is constantly in motion. Each member of the crew is a specialist, trained for many months or even several years to play his part on a team that operates the world's most sophisticated and most effective deterrent to all-out nuclear war. The ship is a submarine. It remains beneath the surface while on station, effectively concealed from surveillance. It is nuclear-powered and has great endurance. It can stay on station for months at a time without the need for replenishing fuel. It extracts oxygen from seawater. The ship can stay submerged. The crew always ready. By 1970, 41 FBM submarines are expected to be operational. Each carries 16 Polaris missiles, and the nuclear warheads of each ship have a punch equivalent to all the explosives used by all forces in World War II. If the firing sequence you see now should ever be used to launch missiles against an enemy, the Polaris system will have failed in its most important role as a deterrent to nuclear war, as the big stick we carry to convince potential aggressors of the folly of attacking the free world. With each addition to our fleet of Polaris submarines, the threat of all-out nuclear war becomes a little less probable. The lessening probability of nuclear war places renewed emphasis upon conventional weapons, and especially on those of the Navy. The Soviet Union has built nearly 500 submarines, many of them a type capable of launching nuclear missiles. Already, American cities as far inland as Chicago, Kansas City, Denver are coming within range of Russian submarine-borne missiles. This American submarine serves as a target for the defensive forces training to meet this threat. They are specialized forces trained in ASW, anti-submarine warfare. The aircraft carrier has often been called the heart of the ASW force. Its surrounding rib cage and strong right arm are the speedy, far-ranging destroyers. Deployed in all sectors of the ASW group, destroyers form an inner screen. Ranging beyond the perimeter of ships, specialized aircraft knit a tight protective skin for the ASW body. The strategy is one of teamwork, cooperation between planes and ships, each seeking out one piece of the puzzle. For the submarine, concealed hundreds of feet below the surface, is one of the most elusive of targets. Navy planes carry electronic sensing devices, radar to locate a submarine snorkel just breaking the surface, magnetic detecting gear that, from the air, pinpoints large masses of metal beneath the water. Complex radio networks convey information to other planes and ships as the search narrows to a more specific area. Pinpoint the submarine's position and course, specially equipped helicopters hover close to the water and lower sensitive transducers to pick up the sound of propellers and other submarine machinery. The target is located, and ships and planes continue working together as they move in for the kill. strong ASW forces will not diminish in the foreseeable future. 1962, we were able to detect Russian missiles on Cuban land bases and confront the world with the evidence. The next time, those missiles might be hidden aboard Soviet submarines, lurking in the concealing depths of the sea. Russian interest in submarine warfare dates back more than a century. Today, their emphasis has moved from the traditional role of coastal defense to the concept of providing an offensive punch for the Russian fleet to deny our free use of the seas. Our ASW forces must meet, must match, must surpass their underwater weaponry. In this respect, our ASW forces are no longer an exclusively defensive capability, but a system of forward strategy, operated to assure full versatility and effectiveness to our naval strike forces. The key to the sustained mobility of the United States Navy is the cargo ships of our underway replenishment groups. As our fighting ships perform their duties, they consume fuel and food, ammunition and spare parts, supplies of every description. The fleet oiler is as vital to the Navy's mission as the ships it refuels. The cargo ship is no less important, for it nourishes both ships and men. And replenishment forces are always, like the rest of our Navy, where they're needed, when they're needed. It takes great quantities of food, of supplies, of fuel to supply the ships of the line. Someday, part of this replenishment at sea will be unnecessary. Nuclear-powered ships will no longer need frequent refueling, and in the space no longer needed for oil, will carry greater quantities of other supplies. But as of now, the job performed day after day by the numerous ships of our replenishment forces points up the importance of logistic support over the waterways of the world. Today, ships carry over 98% of the merchandise moved in intercontinental trade. There is no foreseeable replacement for the goods-carrying ships in world commerce. The customary band playing during replenishment is in a sense a tribute to this tradition of men and ships moving cargo over the sea. As important as replenishment at sea is today, it will be even more important in the years to come. For the overseas bases that we now maintain may not always be available to us. A foreign government may topple, an unfriendly regime take command, and our overseas base ordered to be evacuated. If this happens, it will be the Navy's job to establish and maintain floating bases, naval task forces operating in international waters and supported by the oilers and cargo ships of the replenishment forces. A case in point, today in southern Africa and much of Asia, we control no land bases. Should a situation develop where we found it necessary to provide assistance or to police the sea lanes and air corridors, we could meet our obligations only from the mobile floating base, The Navy Task Force, supplied at sea. For standard replenishment, ships come together and transfer cargo while underway. But if there's a better way to perform a job, the Navy will fully explore that possibility. Perhaps someday even the supply ship will be nuclear powered. A high-speed vessel traveling within the task force, replenishing ships of the line by helicopter, while the strike force moves at full speed toward its objective. Replenishment at sea, a lifeline of supplies that makes possible sustained power at sea, an outpost of freedom on the high seas.